Night after night, the king tossed and turned in his bed, but sleep would not come. After many sleepless nights, he called his chamberlain. Issue a proclamation in my name that whoever can bring me peace and allow me to sleep will receive a magnificent reward. The first to try was the royal baker. Your Highness, I have made a tray of pastries that are as delicious as they are beautiful. I am sure that if you try one, you will be at peace. So the king tried one, and it was delicious. So he tried another, and another, and another, and another, until he'd eaten all of them. And for a few minutes, he was happy. Then a rumbling began in his stomach, and the rumbling expanded into churning. And that night, because of the churning of his stomach, he did not sleep at all. So he knew that wasn't going to be the answer. The next to try was the royal juggler. He brought a basket of gold and silver balls and said, Your Highness, I am sure that if you watch me juggle, it will take your cares off your mind and you will be at peace. So he began to juggle. First 3, then 5, then 7, then 9, and finally 11. And the king was trying to follow them and keep track of where every ball was, and they moved faster and faster and faster. And soon his head was spinning around. And when he tried to steady his head, the room started to spin in the opposite direction. And after a few minutes of this, he had to be carried to his bed. But he dared not close his eyes, because with the room spinning as it was, he would fall out of bed. So that was not the answer either. The next to try was the royal dancer. Your Highness, I am sure that if you watch me dance, my graceful movements will set your heart at peace. And so he began to dance. He twirled and he leapt and he circled around the room, and then he jumped again. And the king was entranced. He got up from his throne and tried to join in the dancing. But his foot slipped on the floor, and if the chamberlain hadn't caught him, he would have split his head open on the edge of a marble table. So dancing didn't seem to be ideal for him either. About this time, he heard some noise from a farther part of the palace, and soon 2 guards came in, with between them an old woman dressed in tatters. Your Highness, this woman says she can help you. Nothing else has worked. Bring her in. She came up to him, and she did not speak at all. She only looked into his eyes, and he looked into hers. He saw his own reflection, but her eyes were so dark and so deep that as he looked, he began to see the people of his kingdom, and he realized how little he knew about his subjects and about their lives. Bring my chariot, my carriage, rather. We are going on a tour of the country. We will progress through every village in the country and see what is on the people's minds. And so it was done. And in every village, he looked into his people's eyes, and they looked into his, and he saw their needs, their fears, and their hopes. When he returned to the palace, he summoned the chamberlain again. Issue a proclamation in my name that 3 things are to be done for my subjects. First, the roads are to be repaired so that no farmer's wagon gets stuck in the mud anymore. Second, there are to be no more taxes on food. And third, we will establish a school in every village. And so it was done. And from that moment on, the king never had trouble sleeping again. Now, as for the old woman, she did not return to the palace, and he had inquiries made about her. Some people said that they had seen her in the center of the city, serving soup to the poor. Others said they had seen her at the gate of the city, mending the clothes of travelers. And still others said that she was the Shekhinah, the divine presence who is always with us, if only we have eyes to see.